Hello, my name is Brad Lewis. I'm here to talk about one of my favorite hobbies, which is a trading card game called Magic the Gathering. I'm sure some of you have maybe heard of it, and I'm sure some of you also probably play it. It's a trading card game that was started in 1993 by a man named Richard Garfield. It's seen play all over the world, and it's also sees professional play, so it's pretty popular. And I'm basically going to show you how to start a basic game of Magic. So, both players start out with a 60 card deck consisting of two things: spell cards and land cards. Spell cards, there are 5 different kinds: artifacts, instants, sorceries, enchantments, and creature spells. Each of them has their own specific purpose, and they basically determine what will happen during a game of Magic and what your specific deck how it performs and functions. Land cards, on the other hand, are universal to every deck of Magic. In Magic, you have to have lands. What they allow you to do is they allow you to produce mana, which is a type of energy. There's 5 colors: red, blue, white, black, and green, with spells corresponding to each color as well. Basically, what you do with your lands is, after you've played one, you're allowed to tap it. Tapping is a maneuver where you turn it sideways to indicate that you've used it for that turn, and that produces the mana of the color of that land. Pretty simple concept. That mana then goes into your mana pool, and you spend it to play a spell card. Here I have some basic cards, one of each kind of spell card, and this is what a land card looks like. So, say a creature spell was red, and the casting cost was 2 red and a colorless. What you would have to do is you would have to tap 2 mountains. Mountains tap for red mana, and then 1 mana of any other land that could produce mana would pay for the colorless, and then that would pay for the casting cost of the creature. You'd play it and put it on the battlefield. Pretty easy. Basically, since after you figured out how to play cards, we'll talk about what happens on your turn. So, if you're going first, what you do is you draw 7 cards, and each turn consists of several phases. The first phase is the untap phase, and that's where you untap any tapped cards you have. Of course, that won't happen on the first turn, but later in the game, of course. So any untapped lands or permanents or cards that stay out on the field at all times. So the untap step happens, then it's the upkeep. Any effects that happen on the upkeep will happen. And then after that, it moves to the draw phase, where you draw your 1 card for the turn. Sometimes you're allowed to draw more than 1 card, but that's only if a played card allows you to do that. After your draw phase, it goes to your main phase. The main phase allows you to tap mana and play spells for your turn. You're also allowed to play 1 land card per turn on your first main phase. After the main phase, if you have any creatures out that you did not play on this turn, say like on a previous turn you played a creature, after the main phase you move into the combat phase, that creature would be allowed to attack the opponent to try and bring down his life total. So how you would do combat is you declare your creature without summoning sickness as an attacker. You tap that creature to indicate that it is attacking and that it's being used for this turn. After you've declared all the attackers that you want, the opposing player gets to declare blockers. He assigns who's going to block who, or he can choose not to block at all and take the damage to his life total. After all attackers and blockers have been declared, it goes to the damage step, where all damage is calculated, and any remaining creatures, their damage is erased after combat, because creatures can be damaged. After the combat phase, it goes to main phase 2. Exactly like main phase 1, you play more spells if you want, or activate any abilities that you can activate. And then after that, it's the end step, where any on the end of turn effects would occur, and then it's the cleanup step, just where everything is resolved at that, and then it passes to the opposing player's turn. And that's basically how a game of Magic goes. There are some more complicated steps, such as the stack, which is basically how cards resolve when being played, but that's a more advanced step. So if you thought that this game sounded interesting to you, you could definitely look into that, and maybe you'll find a new hobby. All right, thank you.